హలో ఆల్, వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు డీటాక్స్ విత్ DNR ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్ బై రిఫ్రెష్ రిట్మో. ఇవాళ మన గెస్ట్ మీ అందరికీ చాలా నచ్చిన మనిషి. ఐ కెన్ కాల్ హర్ ది అన్డిస్ప్యూటెడ్ క్వీన్ ఆఫ్ అందం అండ్ ఆడవాళ్ళ ఆత్మగౌరవం ఇన్ ద తెలుగు ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ. 2 దశాబ్దాలు దాటిందండి ఆమె డెబ్యూ చేసి. కానీ ఇవాళకి కూడా స్ట్రాంగ్ ఫీమేల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ అని చెప్పాలి అంటే టాప్ 2 కాదు, టాప్ 3 కూడా ఆమెవే ఉంటాయి. అండ్ దట్ లేడీ ఈజ్ నన్ అదర్ దెన్ ద గార్జియస్ అండ్ ది స్ట్రాంగ్ అండ్ పవర్ఫుల్ కమలిని ముఖర్జీ గారు. Hello ma'am, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Keeping it very casual, long time no see.
Yes, hi Tris.
So, since I said long time no see, when do you want to come back?
No, there are no concrete plans, but sometime soon. I look forward to going back to film. It's my first love.
So, since you're calling it your first love,
Yeah.
the whole concept of Detox with DNR is going back to, the whole world knows you like a star. You are in this world where people love you, people fall for you, but you have seen your own struggles.
Yeah.
You have had your own good days, bad days, people criticizing you,
As all
appreciating
actors
you.
do.
Yeah,
That's a
there.
part of our job profile.
So I wanted to actually ask you about your journey, let's go back to your roots of where did it start, because I've done my team has done their own research. They came to me and said your dad is a marine engineer and
Yeah.
your mom is a jewelry designer.
Yeah.
So there's no cinema in your family.
No, but there is theatre.
Okay.
I think the scene, the Calcutta scene where theatre is concerned is very active. And I was doing theatre since I was in class 1. I remember my first play was a Bengali play where, of course, as usual, throughout my school career and my college career, I always played the man. So I remember that, and I always loved theatre.
So your family was always encouraging you into theater, or since your childhood, since
Yeah,
you're
they were
always doing that.
very comfortable with me as long as I was doing theatre. But when that changed into film, then it became a different thing because they're not familiar with it so much, and it's letting me go into a new environment on my own. They weren't so sure about it.
So before they were sure, when did you get sure of I want to get into cinemas?
But I didn't when I actually after college, I did a lot of theatre in Kolkata, and then after college, I was actually in the Oberoi School of Management,
Oh, okay.
which not many people know. But my mind and my heart was not there. And I came to Bombay to do a workshop in theatre.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it started. I started working with Prahlad Kakkar, who was my first mentor. And I did many ads with him, and I did 2 years of just ad work in Bombay.
Okay.
And that's where I met Revathi. So I wasn't chasing film. It found me. I met her by chance, and she said, come and do an audition for me. And I did an audition for her, and she called me and she told me, I'm not casting you because of the audition. I'm casting you about what you did after the audition was over. I didn't realize the camera was running, and I was so nervous. So I must have clowned around, and she was like, okay, this is my girl.
So you're saying you must have clowned around, but do you remember vaguely at least what you did?
Nothing. I was like, ooh, that time you're nervous. You've never done an audition for a film before. So.
No, I think that is not the case, because you've always been doing theatre.
Yeah, but theatre is something different, right? You're working with a live audience. Your reactions are, you get reaction from the audience live.
Yeah.
It's different, and you do not get takes and things like that. You're just there. It's in the moment. It's way more intense than film.
Yeah.
And now when I look back on it, I feel it's way more scarier than film because you've just got one go. But film, when I came in front of that camera and I had to do it, and I was doing it for Revathi, who I've watched on screen, so it was a very big deal.
Yeah, when you said you bumped into Revathi Garu.
Yeah,
and
I just did because I was friends with a lot of writers because I've always been into writing in Bombay, and I was talking to a writer friend of mine who said that why don't you come along, I'll introduce you to somebody interesting, and it was Revathi.
Wow.
And I've seen Revathi, Salman Khan's film, and in that scary film, so for me it was like, wow, I'll go and meet her. I never thought that she would ask me to audition, something like that.
So did you get to listen to the script, or were you like just chosen because?
Yeah, I
you
was
did-
just chosen, and then she gave me the script. And it was a very interesting film because we stayed in Dakshin Chitra, which is outskirts of Chennai. It's an art institute.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just artists come and work there, and we shot the film there.
Oh, nice.
So it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, like, since you're from Bengal, you know, like, you always had this, you know, like, Bengal has this love for art.
Yes.
And you were like, you were always into, you had a lot of creative friends,
Yes.
like,
I
writer
was
friends.
learning dancing, and I
Yeah.
wrote, and yeah, we are pushed towards that because we grew up in families where there are singers and artists and things like that. So we naturally gravitate towards it.
Oh, I mean, like, so since childhood, you didn't see any other world except for, you know, like, people around you getting into art and
Yeah,
everything.
a lot. Not in my, I wouldn't say, my mom sings.
Oh,
But she is a personal singer. She likes to sing on her own. It's not for anything. And my father has nothing to do with art at all. But I think I always had an affinity for
Yeah.
creativity, all kinds. I used to draw, so it's just another way I was expressing my creativity. I never knew that it would become a career path for me.
Yeah. So Fir Milenge was like, I mean, we got to know how you bumped into Revati Garu
Yeah.
and all that happened. Like, I remember the movie vaguely. I rewatched many other classics of yours.
Yeah.
But how was the experience with Salman Khan? You know, like,
Oh, it was great. And
Shilpa Shetty.
Shilpa Shetty was amazing because she just made me, she took me under her wing. She made sure I always was in her room. And I remember I was not allowed to use any makeup, nothing, you know. And one day I walked in with a pimple, and she took a concealer and she covered it. And I was so happy that my pimple is not showing. And I went on the set, and Revati was like, "What's that?" Like, "No, she covered it." She was like, "Take it off right now." I was like, "Okay, I took it off." So Shilpa was amazing to me. Salman Khan was Salman Khan. I mean, you're just in awe of him, right? But he's
Yeah.
kind of very down to earth. He was very nice, and Abhishek was amazing.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it was such a starry cast for somebody who's coming in the first time. So you're a little like, ooh. But they are very normal, and they want you to feel comfortable. So
yeah. And if I may give you a compliment,
yeah.
you're Shilpa Shetty's sister in that movie.
Yeah.
In real life also, just like how she aged like wine,
Yeah.
you still look the same.
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean, I've been telling you, right? I look older than you,
No,
but
you don't.
when Anand came in, I was in my 4th grade.
Thank you. I think
So-
it's all genes.
Okay.
I can't take credit for it.
Yeah, so since we spoke about Anand,
Yeah.
where did you get to meet this legendary, noble, like humble soul, Shekhar Kamlagar?
I did not, I did an ad. I was a brand ambassador for a Hindustan Lever product called Ayush. And I had done an ad for them in which the mother-in-law, she has just gotten married, and the mother-in-law is taking her through the house and showing her things that, she needs to be familiar with. And it's a new environment, and her mother-in-law is very intimidating. So she doesn't say much. She's listening, and then she comes to the bathroom and she sees the shampoo, and that's the first time she says, "No, it's Ayush." Like, this is not the one.
Yeah.
And something hit Shekhar because there was even Anand at the core is a story about family, especially the relationship between a mother-in-law and a to-be mother-in-law and her. So it struck him, and he just called me out of the blue, and I had no idea about South films, basically. I wasn't looking at it. And he said that, "I just want you to come and meet me." And I remember the first time I went and met them, they were on the set. And he gave me the script and he said, "Just read it." And that's it. That was the end of the conversation. And I was given the script, and I went. I stayed at a hotel that they had put me up in, and I read it. And I called them up as soon as I finished, and I said, "I want to do the film."
Nice.
And that was it. That was our entire initial interaction with Shekhar.
So, like, what made you, did you resonate with that script? Because at that point of time,
Yeah.
it was all about the female leads being for 3 songs and all of
Yeah.
these. But then there comes a lead, her name is Rupa. That lady, her marriage gets called off
Yeah.
in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it's all the struggle and how she grows up,
Yeah.
like moves on, and all that. So I was like, did that strong aspect of that female character resonate with you, or were you like, I got an opportunity, let's go do that?
No, it's absolutely the character. But more than that, I was very young. But even then, you realize that this is a very common thing in India, where you face these kind of issues where marriage is concerned, when you're living in a joint family. Now, a nuclear family is more normal, there's more widespread, but joint families are there where you're living with your in-laws. And there is always, Ekta Kapoor built her entire empire on the tu meme between mother-in-law. So it was interesting. The dynamics were interesting. And the crew was so young and vibrant, and everybody was so enthusiastic. There was an energy about Anand. And it was infectious. I felt like I could do justice to this role. And it was so different from Pirmilinge, which I was shooting simultaneously.
And I think you still are the face of, what do we call, like, there's a lot of discussions going on now about women empowerment and feminism and all these. You, through your characters and now what you have said, like, you have been allowed to grow, or like you were allowed to go be bold by your parents, right? You chose characters also in a similar way, like Godavari, Sita.
Godavari is like my favorite.
People still trip over that. Like, like I know a girl who wants to be Sita even if she's not.
I know people, I have met people in events here where people have told me that, she is me. And I'm like, she's also me. It resonates because I think India has gone through quite a change. It's still happening where women are concerned. They're finding their own, standing on their own. And they have now the audacity to say, I want this, I will not accept this, and I will be like this. So people identify, they get a little bit of courage, they understand that this is possible, I can also be like this. So women like that. I've met really elderly people in, events where they say that I love her. I love Sita Mahalakshmi. And I understand because they see the change in how they were perhaps, before, and how women have changed now.
With what you said, I mean, I want to go a little off topic.
Okay.
Times have changed, but do you think the definitions and how people are perceiving, strong women, has that also got diluted a little now?
No, I don't think so. I think women themselves are kind of molding the way they want to be seen. There is a whole, they want to be homemakers. They want to be career people. They want to be taken seriously, as well as they do not want to have their femininity questioned.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's not being diluted. It is actually exposing many more facets.
Oh, that's a great take, actually.
Yeah, it is. It's the truth that I can be this. I can be a homemaker like I am today, and I can also be an actor. I can write. I can do anything that I want, if I allow myself to. And women are allowing themselves to, and society as a whole has accepted it.
Yeah. You have really great thoughts on everything that we speak. Like at least this part, you can be a great orator. Why aren't you on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube where you come out and express your thoughts and your feelings?
Okay, I'll be honest. I'm a very emotional person. I'm also a very private person. I have always, even throughout my career, I never lived anywhere I worked because my privacy was extremely important. I like wearing my shorts and getting into an auto and going and shopping, and I like the normalcy of life very, very much. And I like the privacy. I do not want, I know there are a lot of benefits to social media.
Yeah.
You become, there's monetary benefits, there is exposure, and there's so much, perhaps more work or whatever. But for me, my personal space transcends all that. I do not want that invasive energy where I have to listen to 10 people's thoughts on something I do, somewhere I think, or something that I want to express. I do not, and I'm not somebody who is very comfortable with open negativity. And social media is negative. And as time goes by, it's becoming more and more negative. So I don't want to open myself up to that. I don't think it'll add anything to my life. Maybe externally, like I said, it has benefits. But for me, this kind of supersedes that. I'm okay with people not knowing that I speak like this. If you personally meet me, it's better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even if you're not on social media, social media is full of your
Yeah, I
reels.
know. I
Yeah,
know.
there's Sita going on, there's Rupa going
Yeah, I know,
on.
I know.
Let me guess, you must have a private account, right? Like a private account with username 123 kind of and
No.
scrolling across.
I had one Facebook account which is still live. That only my mother posts. I have not posted in years, but she just keeps it alive by saying, "Oh, this is Roni doing this." My pet name at home, they call me Roni. Roni doing this and Roni doing that. And she'll take one photograph of 10 years back and say, "Oh, this is her 10 years back." So, but I'm not on social media at all.
So does that keep you away from people? Like, like there's a pressure with actors going on. I mean, like, with actors' life, they want to stay relevant all the time. They want to be in people. You value your private life and your privacy a lot.
Yeah.
But getting into people will still keep you in the limelight. You can, like kind of grab more offers maybe. There's a lot of web series going on.
Yeah, maybe when I want to come back, I'll perhaps make it known that I'm back, but not necessarily through a Twitter account or I don't have Instagram at all, so Instagram account. And my husband is very much like that too. He is he's not on social media either.
Yeah.
And we guard that space very, very strongly. We like that.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with it. It's okay. The things that do not come my way, I believe were not meant for me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you seem to be like somebody, and you are somebody who has firm stands on whatever they want. Like whatever you want, you'll ask for it. If you don't want, you'll just reject it.
Yeah.
Were you at any point of time put in a fix, maybe for an opportunity or, like any compromises? I mean, can I use that word?
Yeah.
Like, were there any bad experiences where people tried to exploit your innocence? I know you are very sweet, but not very innocently lame.
I think people all throughout my life, when I was in school as when I was in college, and I think people see that they perceive a kind of underlying seriousness through maybe on the surface you and me can really vibe and joke and things like that. Most people feel like there is a line they won't cross where I come, and it is not because I do something. I think I come across like that.
Yeah.
They don't. They're like, okay, maybe I don't want to say intimidating because that's not how I want to come across, but I think they know that there is that much. We can push her till there, or we can, take it light till there, but after that, she's a kind of serious person.
Yeah.
Because I think I am kind of a serious person, though the closest people to me, like my sisters, think I'm the funniest person. Because with them, you can let all guard down, be goofy. You know that they will never cross any lines. There are no lines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wanted to mention this, and I want to tell the audience as well. I got intimidated the moment you got out of your car.
See? And I just said hi. I was so nice to you on the phone too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why.
I got very scared, and I was calling my team, I was calling Harshad, my producer.
Don't worry, he's there. We're all going to be there. Just 5 minutes. I'm like, just chill.
Yeah, and you were so sweet. You made me feel so comfortable. I think people need to know that you're a very sweet person when you meet.
I think people know that people who met me, worked with me, I think they know. But at the same time, like I said, there is that much. Yeah. I've just kind of put that behind and focused on other things that I didn't know that I've discovered so many things that I didn't have a chance because I was working so much and I was obsessive where film was concerned. When I wasn't working in films, I was watching films, I was writing films, I was just obsessed. And I didn't know that I could be in a space where film was not a part of my life. So when I came here, the first 2 months were hard for me. I was like, oh my God, this is like a huge chunk of your life is different right now.
Yeah.
But I found so many other things, and I got a lot of alone time. I became very familiar with solitude, and it was something that before I used to feel that being alone is scary because I was always, my sisters always lived with me in Bombay, and I was part of such a big, boisterous family, but I love it. You get to find parts of yourself. Like the Kamalinee of 25 is not the Kamalinee now. And
Okay.
to be able to delve into the differences of how you were then and how you are now. This part of my journey of moving to the US and in a space where not too many people know me. Of course, I meet a lot of people because America is so full of, people from the South and a lot of Bengalis.
Yeah.
But, my first Bengali film was actually shot in America. I came as an adult to America because Operajita Tumi was completely shot here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We shot in California. It was amazing. It was my first exposure to it. I was like, wow, this is so good.
Yeah. So, like, again, like, if you want to come back, I wanted to actually ask this question. You have been mentioning web series once
Yeah.
or twice. So, now that, like, I don't want to talk about your age. I know you would kick me.
No, I'm totally comfortable. I think
Yeah.
women of all ages should be welcome back in the industry because men of all ages are welcome back in the industry. We are quite, and I look at Priyanka Chopra today and I was never a huge fan. Now I'm a huge fan. Why? Because I think she overcome a lot of things. Life was difficult for her at one point when, even though she was such a star, and she came here and she made it on her own. She is in her 40s. She is a mother. She is a wife. She's completely in control of her life. And I love the fact that she's owning it. I think
Yeah.
women should own it. So what? Age is just a number. You can do so many things.
So, right now, how is the industry? Like, when you were too busy working in the industry, you taking a break away from the industry.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any difference? Like, are you in touch with people over there? And you
I
get
am in
updates?
touch with only Ravi Kishore sir, who was, again, a mentor to me while I was working in Telugu and a very important part of my film journey. He's my hero because he protected me. He was very protective. Throughout the time that I worked in Hyderabad, I lived in his house.
Oh, nice.
And with my sister, and he would not have it any other way. He really looked out. I never had a manager,
Oh,
so I always had people meet me for films directly, or they would come to sir and say, because they knew I was, staying
Yeah.
at his place. So I'm in touch with Ravi Kishore sir, and I'm in touch with Sumant because we are friends. And I think Godavari was kind of really, really close to both our hearts. And
Yeah.
we have very good energy that we bounce off each other. We've always done it. But apart from that, no. And Krish, I'm in touch with. We exchange messages. When he's doing a new film, he always tells me that, "Come wish me luck," So we
Yeah.
have that kind of a relationship. And
Shekhar sir?
not really.
Oh, okay.
I think somewhere down the road, let me put it this way, that film is all about inspiration. Sometimes you find inspiration in a character. Sometimes you find inspiration in an actor. And sometimes there are other things that control cinema, which are like star power and money
Yeah.
and how you mount it and things like that. And as you proceed in your journey of maturing as a filmmaker or maturing as an actor, those things change. All these other things, they change. So I think Shekhar found his inspiration in different places. I moved and did work with different people, and somehow I'm sure we still share the same passion for cinema, but we haven't found a common ground where we meet again and do a film. And it's a very emotional thing for me because he was my first, Anand was actually my first solo film, right? And we grew together through Anand, Godavari, Happy Days, and things just happen, and the way life is, you just accept it and you move ahead and you look for a new experience, or something else just engulfs your world. And I moved away from the Telugu industry on the whole, and I was somewhere else. I was distracted, but I will always be grateful for the films that we shared, the relationship that we shared, because honestly, I don't think I have ever, after my equation with Shekhar, ever had that kind of creative fusion. We would be able to talk about film 4, 5, 6 hours.
Wow.
Because like I said, it was initial, right? You're in the throes of discovering cinema together, and then you become, as you proceed, you see different aspects of it. Then you want to do bigger films, you want to work with other people, and it's just natural. You just don't hold it against people. These things I see film is very fluid.
Yeah.
And I get emotional about things like this, but it's not something that I consider negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss something, and then you are like, okay, but there's this too.
Yeah. So, since we're talking about things not coming your way, did you push things away or did they not come? Because you have worked with almost all the senior actors, all-time blockbusters. Like, you started off your Malayalam journey with Mammootty sir.
Yes.
Puli Murugan with Mohanlal sir was the highest grosser, until post-COVID. Like, after COVID, things changed. And now the superstars of Malayalam, like, you have worked with Fahad Fazli also.
And they're all three amazing.
Yeah.
All the three films were so different from each other. It was just, and I think I was a tad bit apprehensive about moving away from Telugu because I had found a comfortable space there. But I'm glad I took that step and said, okay, let me do this. And more than all of this, I think it was Shaji sir. I met him again. It was a chance meeting. I met him. He said, I will call you after a few months. And I was like, okay. I didn't know who he was. And then I went back and did research, and I was like, oh my God. And he called me back, and I worked with him. And that Malayalam thing started with him, and it was amazing. I love the Malayalam industry.
Yeah, then after giving such a big blockbuster, you never worked in Malayalam after that?
No, that's because I immediately after I did Puli Murugan, I got married.
So after marriage, you wanted to just give
Yes,
it,
I wanted to. I think it was something that Karan, my husband, and me discussed before. And I'm going a little personal, but because my dad was in the Merchant Navy and he sailed 9 months a year, I always saw a long distance marriage throughout my childhood. And I was determined that would not happen with me. My parents have an amazing relationship. They have been married now 47 years, and they are so much in love, but it was really hard on both of them. And that time there was no technology. You want one satellite call, in 2 months. It was like that. And I was so determined that I was not going to be in a long distance marriage. And because Karan had just started his career here, I knew that it was going to be me. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was something that I was very sure about. That I would come here and I would live here and I would not be working for a while. And I don't want to sound intellectual, but like our Hinduism says that we have 4 stages of life, right? Like you are a student and then you're a householder. And so for me, it was, I think it works like that for me naturally. I spent so much time studying. I spent so much time working. Now I feel like I'm committed to being a household person in my family life, and then maybe go back and do more work for society as a whole, things like that. Those are the things that go through my brain.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask, so this decision must have been very tough because you got a lot of love from Telugu.
Yes.
From Malayalam. I think you're the only actress who has worked in 6 industries.
Yes.
But
including Bengali.
Yes,
home.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Why didn't you work on many other films in your homeland there?
Number one, I never went to any industry on my own. I actually had worked with Shujit Sarkar, on quite a few ads.
Okay.
And when he produced Aparajita to me
Aparajita,
with uh, my director, who is Tony, who's epic. He is like really amazing. And he came to me with the script, and Padma Priya is in that film too.
Yes.
And I read the character. I was glad he came to me with the character that he did and not hers. Because it is something, the other woman is not something that Telugu would have ever given me.
Yeah.
Do you understand
Yes,
what I
yes,
mean?
Yes, yes.
So it gave me a chance to kind of explore a different kind of emotion, a woman in a different situation, and get into her head. So I just grabbed it. And after that, the kind of films that came to me were things that I was doing in other languages. And nothing appealed to me or called to me. And instead, something like an Iravi came to me, where again, it was like completely different.
Yeah.
So it's not the language, or, you know, it's, you gravitate towards the role. Do you want to go and step into her
Yeah.
shoes and see what it is? Those are the things that trigger me. I want to see what is happening. How does a woman feel like that? In Iravi, she was married to an alcoholic.
Yes.
It was an abusive relationship. And I had never done something like this. So Karthik gave me an opportunity to go there. You know,
Yeah.
so I like that aspect of acting. It allows you to be so many different people. If I'm constantly the same person, being me, I think I'll get bored.
Yeah, I guess in Telugu, to your point,
Yeah.
in Telugu also what happened was, you did Anand, you did Godavari, you did Gamyam, and then there was Gopi Gopika Godavari. You know, like these were roles which were kind of similar.
I'd say the roles were similar in their strength.
Strength, yes.
Okay, but the characters were very different.
Yes.
I think, but I've always, I noticed a commonality in a lot of my characters. She's always an orphan. Yeah, and I remember telling this to someone that, or like so many roles in which she doesn't have parents. You know, it was something that struck me. But it wasn't. I don't see them as the same, but they just different parts of womanhood just being explored. Like I'd never played a doctor who was, you know, so independent, running her own thing, like in Gopi Gopika Godavari. And Gamyam though, she's another character altogether.
Yeah.
You know, she's so strong and so vibrant.
Exactly.
And at the same time, when it comes to him, she becomes like the soft and, you know, so for me, they were different. And the advantage was when I was moving into other industries, then they gave me an opportunity to do other things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about Gamyam,
Yeah.
I want to put you
I
in a
love
fix.
Krish. I love him.
We'll talk about Krish, but I want to put you in a fix.
Yeah.
I'll start off the dialogue because I only know the first part of it. Premanu preminchina.
ప్రేమను ప్రేమించిన ప్రేమ ప్రేమకై ప్రేమించిన ప్రేమని ప్రేమిస్తుంది. I rehearsed that all night when I had to say it. I'll never forget that dialogue.
You still remember that?
Yeah, because it was so hard. It was like extremely hard for me because it's a tongue twister.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, I was like, and Nandu in that says that, oh, Prema comes 4 times. And I'm like, yeah, I think Prema comes 4 times. In my head, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I wanted to not let go of that dialogue.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Krish Garu. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's somebody people in US also look up to.
Yeah.
Because he moved away from here. He made his first movie. And talking about awards, I think you bagged an award for Anand and then Gamyam as well.
Yeah. With Krish, it's very interesting. When he came to me, I was shooting with Shekhar. And he told me, he said that I just want you to listen to the script. And he sat there for 3 hours and he gave me the script. Every single scene and everything. I was like, I love the film. He said, you know, I was on a bus in the airport and I saw you. And I knew that you were Janki. So I was like, okay. And immediately I told him I'm going to do the film. Because I really loved it.
Yeah.
It was amazing for me. And then every successive language, Tamil, Kannada, he was like, and he kept telling people that she is Janki, use her. She is Janki, use her. So it happened.
Yeah, like if you actually see this, you have worked with all the legendary directors.
Yes.
Like you were the heroine for the debut of the movie, like
Yeah.
Shekhar Kamala Garu, Krish Garu. So what was the difference between these two people?
Krish is way more intense. the scorpion in him is like alive, you know. He's intense. His energy is, I'd say, you know, Shekhar has a calm about him. He has an underlining confidence even during Anand. You know, he would he's the guy who would release Anand with Shankar Dada.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
the whole world was shaking at the thought of it in 2 theaters. But that's the kind of guy he is. His confidence in his ability to tell a story or bring out things from an actor is of another level. But they both mirror the same kind of passion for films. They have that in common. But Krish is way, way more intense than Shekhar. Shekhar has a way about him that puts you very much at ease, and he lets you, if he feels that you know your character, he lets you flow.
Yeah.
You know, Krish is a little more defined. And I love working with both of them.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, so let me ask you about kind of your last Telugu movie, like Govindranadri.
Yeah.
You worked with Krishna Vamsi Garu, Ram Charan Garu.
Yeah.
It was a big star cast. How was it working there?
Well, the shoot part of it was really amazing. But I think towards the end of it, I felt a little out of place because not because of the crew, okay? Because all my co-actors and the people on the set, they're amazing. They were very supportive. They were very amazing. I just wasn't very comfortable about how my role in the film turned out. So it wasn't anything contentious, and it wasn't like a fight or anything like that. I just stepped back from Telugu films after that for a while because I felt hurt. Like I said, I'm a very emotional person, so I felt a little hurt about the way it turned out. But I don't hold anything against anyone. Cinema is so nebulous, you know, it just changes the way it's not defined by anything in the immediacy. Sometimes you think that this is your scene and this is the best thing, and then when you go back and you watch it, the director realizes it didn't come out the way it did, or you know, it doesn't have the impact that it's supposed to, and we are not made aware of those things because it's happening behind. But the way I felt was very personal for me, and that kind of hurt me, and I just thought that okay, I should step back from Telugu films and maybe do explore other languages which give me a little more breadth to do the kind of cinema that I want to do, or use my potential to the fullest.
Yeah. So are you somebody who stands for yourself instantly there, or you just sit down to process it? Like when you say, so when somebody says something to you or they demand something from you,
Yeah.
for example, you're not comfortable doing that scene, they come to you and they just ask for it. When you say no, usually what happens with many of the female leads is when they say no, the very next project they're replaced. That's what, there's a trend outside there.
Yeah, but it just depends on who you're working with. Now, for example, in Kutisrank, there is an entire scene in which my character, who is like a 17-year-old nun, you know, she is so into Mammootty sir's character that she decides that she's just waking up to her sexuality. And he comes knocking on the door to look for her brother, and she's in her towel, and she drops her towel because she feels that I like this guy, you know. And when Shaji sir told me that, and he's somebody who talks with this volume, this was Shaji sir's normal volume, so he was like, this is a scene coming. I was like, so I can't do this. He said, don't worry, I want to know if you're comfortable if I use a body double. I was like, yeah, I don't want to interfere with the medium because I am not comfortable with it. But if it was a very, very monumental turning point in the film where he realizes that this young girl, I have to keep away from her.
Yeah.
You know, because, and he put me in a room with the actor who did that scene. There were just 4 of us, and he gave me a bottle of water, you know, a spray bottle, and he said, you spray her every time we shoot. You know, that is the kind of person he was, and then you don't feel uncomfortable, or you don't withdraw from a scene or think that, oh my God, I can't do this, I don't want to be seen like that, because you're looking at it, if you look at it from the point of view of a film, it's so relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think you saying no, not on this set,
Yeah.
but during the script itself,
Yeah.
was a thing, is what I feel. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because you always got powerful characters.
Yeah.
And there was a point of time where you did try out the typical commercial.
Yeah, I did a few commercial films because everybody was like, you're getting typecast and you must do something. It's like, okay, let me explore some fun films. And I did a couple of films which I thought were really fun during shoot. But then I watched them, I was like, oh my God. But those also included experiences like traveling with my sister who was my makeup artist, and so you bring back and take back the best of every, little bit from everything.
Let's talk about Vetayad Vilayad. Like, you acted with Kamal sir.
It was so scary, I have to tell you. I'm revealing all these like inner secrets. There's this scene in which I'm supposed to be putting on his button. This is one of the first scenes I thought. And Kamal sir is extremely intimidating. His aura is like, and me, all of us have watched him in like Sadma, and I remember him in all these huge prolific films. He's one of my dad's favorite actors, and you're opposite him, and your scene is all about intimacy because you are married to him,
Yeah.
and you're putting on his button, and every shot I was like, my hands are shaking. And Gautam is like, cut. He's like 5-6 shots like that. And he realized, and he knows he has an aura. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's comfortable with you being a little uncomfortable. So it was scary for me. And then we had the scene in which they took us in boat to the middle of the sea and they dropped us. It's a small part of the song.
Yes.
And he's telling me there are sharks here. And I lose my mind. I forget about everything else. And that is the moment in which he realized, okay, this is not going to work. And he just turned into this other person who was making me comfortable, who started talking to me about the Ramayana. And, we were just discussing philosophy. And I was like, wow. And after that, everything was smooth sailing because, we found a kind of space where we were okay. Vibing off each other instead of me like, oh my God, it's Kamal Hassan. Because you feel like that.
Yeah.
I was like that with Mammootty sir too. Because the first South film I ever watched, my dad took me to Nandan and made me watch, his most famous film, Vidayan.
Okay.
Where he is a very scary man. So when I met Mammootty sir, I was like,
Yeah. So, I mean, you have in the beginning stage of your career, itself, like the first 4 or 5 years, you have done many movies where you had fun while shooting, you were very intense while shooting, you had experience Kamal sir. Let me go back to the point where you had to say no. Like, I think you're one actress where there's no controversy on your name.
Because I don't live there. That's why I never lived where I worked. These are conscious decisions. When I talk about privacy and things like this, I always lived in Bombay. From the time I left home, except when I was in Delhi in OCLD, in Oberoi school, I always lived in Bombay because I have so much freedom there. Nobody cares about me there. And I'm very comfortable in that zone.
I mean, I see a different charm when you're talking about movies and all your projects and everything. Do you miss movies?
I miss film. I miss shooting for it. But I'll be honest, I have completely disconnected from cinema. I think I've watched a lot of web series. I think I must have watched like 3 films in these last 10 years.
Wow.
Like films, 3 films from the South. I must have watched like 2 Hindi films. But I've just kind of put that behind and focused on other things that I didn't know that I've discovered so many things that I didn't have a chance because I was working so much and I was obsessive where film was concerned. When I wasn't working in films, I was watching films, I was writing films, I was just obsessed.
I've actually read this somewhere, like if a male actor reaches 50,
Yeah.
he's still a lover boy.
Yeah.
When the girl touches 30, I mean, like the female leads touch 30, 35,
Yeah.
they're not taken as, what do you say, the lovey-dovey, chubby girls and all that.
But I think slowly, it's changing a little bit. You have women, before women As soon as they hit 30, they were like, no go. Now women in their mid-30s and their late 30s are still working. You had Deepika working, and you have,
Yeah.
in fact, in our industry, in the Telugu industry, you have Nayanthara working, you have Trisha working. They are all in their 30s, and people are opening up slowly to,
Yeah.
it's just a process. We are still learning to treat women as equals. Film is all about inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you find inspiration in a character. Sometimes you find inspiration in an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there are other things that control cinema, which are like star power and money and how you mount it and things like that. And as you proceed in your journey of maturing as a filmmaker or maturing as an actor, those things change. All these other things, they change. So I think Shekhar found his inspiration in different places. I moved and did work with different people, and somehow I'm sure we still share the same passion for cinema.
Okay, just to lighten your mood, I wanted to behave like Rajesh from Happy Days.
Oh my God.
And then I thought, okay, your husband is there in that room. He would come hit me. I don't
such
even
an
remember the
amazing
poem.
film, right?
Yeah, that's a very crazy film.
So many newcomers. I was like so thrilled to be a part of that film, because the energy was different. By then we had like 4 or 5 films behind us. We were like, okay, now we are veterans, and then there was this entire bunch of people, all green, all excited. It was lovely. I loved it. And I loved Shreya's character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
So you were talking about passion for cinema, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel, I mean, we and like me and our producer and our content researcher, like the whole Refresh It More team, we have been going across your history. We have been googling about you and everything. Can you just write a poem instantly here? Because you are a great poet, is what we have read.
I'm not a great poet. I am just a poet. Please don't say great and attach that to my poetry. Well, I wrote my first poem when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
And it was published in a poetry book. And I have written, I like cinema, like food, like gardening. Poetry is a form of expression for me.
We heard about one particular lunch or dinner where there were all this huge, big superstars on the table and you were the only lady there.
Yeah, that was just by chance. And I was so intimidated because it was all biggies. And they were all there, and I had actually gone on the invitation of a superstar, and he was so very welcoming. He really made me feel at home. He fed me, and I loved it. But I remember it because you're in the presence of a few people sometimes, but you're never in the presence of so many people at that time, So yeah, I remember that. It always sticks out to me.
Yeah. So let me tell me your experience, the working experience of Shirdi Sai.
Raghavendra Rao, sir, he is a character. There is nobody like him. He is unimaginably larger than life and so comfortable saying whatever the hell he wants. He has no filter. And he's funny. And it was a big, boisterous cast. We had so many people in it. And Nag is incredibly hot, okay? I have no qualms in saying that I have forever found Nagarjuna super hot. So it took me 2 minutes to say that, okay, this is Sai Baba and this is not that hottie, but we had fun in the shoot. It was a great shoot. My sister, again, she traveled with me. We ate some really good food. And it was a brief shoot, and the character was interesting because Radha Krishnamai, who is a true life character, and a role that I never thought I'd be doing. So I loved that film. It was good.
No, I mean, you know about his trademark, right? So what he does is, there's a song in his movies where there's either an apple or a flower which is falling into the, the abdominal area of the actress, and that's beautified.
Okay. I didn't have that, but Vamshi sir made me lie in a field of corn.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Gopi Gopiya Godavari.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that experience. Like you said you love these monsoonish temperatures. And
Yeah,
all.
I monsoonish temperature. I love being on the water. So, almost 65, 70 days of Godavari, about a month and a half of Gopi Gopika Godavari, and then Kuti Srang, which was different because we had no location. Shaji sir is such a different kind of filmmaker. We would set out in the morning and just flow down the backwaters, and he would say, okay, stop here, and we would shoot, you know. So being on the water, me being Pisces and a fish, very comfortable. I loved those 3 shoots because of this. And I think Godavari was so exciting because every day, and I'm not even lying, every single day when I came back from shoot, there were people from, you know, local people who used to come with tiffin carriers this big, with prawns and crabs and whatnot, and feed us. It was amazing.
We actually call that Godarolla Maryadalu.
They see these memories are like forever imprinted in my brain. And just imagine like 60 days of feasting.
Talk about Sharvanand Garu, because I think you have done
He's the dude.
technically 2.
Yeah.
Technically 2 movies, because Gamyam remake was in Tamil
Yeah.
as well, right? And the other one was Classmates.
Yeah, good friends.
Yeah.
And I find him to be one of the most intense actors I've worked with, most committed actors I've worked with, and most natural. He is very comfortable in his own skin. You know, he does not feel the need to portray himself as a star or anything. We have that in common. We vibe on that. He's a gem.
Let me put you in a fix now. You spoke the same things, you know, like you spoke good about Sumant Garu.
Yeah.
You spoke good about Sharvanand Garu. Choose one.
What the hell? I don't know what to say, okay? Okay, I'll give you something better. Nandu and me have a very strong friendship. Sumant and me have very good chemistry.
Wow, okay. Nice.
I can't believe I said that, but you put me in a fix. I can't choose between them, but yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. That's actually a great answer. Like you dodged 2 bullets at once. So I think we have covered, I mean, like we have covered almost every topic that
Yeah, all the aspects of my
all the
life.
aspects, like
Yeah.
you gave us, you know, like
Yeah, I give you all the information fast.
yeah. So I'll finish off with 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first question is, what would KM, who's 26, tell KM right now?
You don't need to be so apprehensive about taking a step back from any part of your life and exploring other things, because stepping back from film had a very deep impact on me. It kind of gave me, I became creatively inert. But now that I have discovered so many other things, like I was always into food, and now food has become such a big part of my life, and I love growing my own stuff that I'm cooking with, and you know, the things, I have time to do a lot of other things, and you're going to be okay even if you move away, and maybe you'll come back better, smarter, nicer. I don't know.
And the last question, not on my behalf,
Okay.
for all those people who miss you.
I miss you too. And I miss film. So I'll be back, and hopefully in a total Faru film. So fingers crossed.
Firstly, I'll thank Ujjwal, you know, for helping get this all done.
Ujjwal is a rock star.
On behalf of Refresh Ritmo, we would love to thank him.
Yeah.
But I would also go tell him, you know, Anna, madam దగ్గర స్క్రిప్ట్లు ఉన్నాయంట సెట్ చేయనా.
Yeah. We should.
నైస్.
Yeah.
అదిరా అబ్బాయిలు పరిస్థితి. ఫాడో ఫిలిం రాసి పెట్టుకోండి. దిస్ సంథింగ్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యాపెన్.
నేను రూప కాదు, సీత. జానకి. నా జర్నీ మీతో.